He's got a man wide open. Can he come down with it? He does!
Hey, we're not done! Let's go!
Welcome everyone to another edition of Inside Martinsville Football here on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel, also on WRAP 15 Sports. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by Artesian head coach Brian Duggar. And Coach, again, thanks for taking time to join us once again this week.
Hey, glad to be here. It's always fun to talk about football, talk about the Artesians and what we got going on.
We've got a lot to talk about here on this show. We've been off for a week with fall break, so we'll talk a little bit with the coach about what's transpired over the last couple of weeks, and then we look ahead to the big sectional opener coming up on Friday night as the Artesians play host to the Jennings County Panthers for the second straight year. So, Coach, let's go back now. We're going to kind of skip over the Mooresville contest, go to last week's contest against the Plainfield Quakers. And, you know, coming in, the kids were on fall break. It's a little bit of a different schedule. Coming out on Friday, kind of flat in the contest, and Plainfield jumps out on you guys, and then they end up with the big win.
Yeah, it was definitely a flat performance from us. No excuses. You know, we could say fall break, we could say this, we could say that, just everything. We've talked about it all year, how nothing's, you know, we can't take anything for granted. Nothing's going to be given to us, and, you know, we kind of just didn't show up and laid an egg, and that was not a good representation of the Martinsville football team. And we had a talk at halftime, we had a talk after the game, we had a talk Saturday morning, and we're just moving on. That's the best way to look at it. It's one of those that, you know, take it, learn from it, move on.
Take it, learn from it, move on. You mentioned a little bit not taking things for granted. I know earlier in the season, not taking games for granted. And with the sectional coming up, you've gotten through a whole season now, and then the hope is, hey, let's just make sure we're doing everything we need to continue to be able to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Football.
If you'd have told me on July 6th when we got to start practice that we were going to get our full season in, I wouldn't have taken that bet. I just kind of the way things were going, and you know, you see some of these schools having to shut down here and there. I just didn't think it was possible that we'd play a full schedule. I'm extremely grateful that we got to. I'm proud of the boys for all the work that they did. And truth be told, that's something that needs to be talked about. The commitment that these guys made to wear their mask, to bring their own water, to do the social distancing, all the steps we had to go through to run a practice, just the work that our administration put in, that the IHSA put in, that our players put in across the state to make sure this happened. So that's a really big deal, and I'm proud of our guys and how they handled the situation and really fought through it. And it's been kind of a nice thing for us to really not take a game for granted. You don't really know that next week is given to you, and you know things kind of backed off a little bit. But I think here in the last couple of weeks, things have changed. One, knowing that sectionals are back. You know, sectional, it's do or die time now for real. But also you see some of these schools having to cancel games in the sectional, like we're talking about Southwood 9-0, and they're not going to get to play their first round of sectional. And that's just, it could happen. And you just got to take every opportunity you get, you know, as an opportunity and seize it. Yeah,
take every opportunity you can get. Make sure you seize it. Commending you guys along with your players as well for making sure that those kind of things are able to happen. And also those young kids, 16, 17, 15-year-old kids that you're dealing with, the psychology of that, obviously, you can write books and books and have been written about how they respond and things. And it's always been kind of an odd dynamic with the way that the state tournament is in every sport in Indiana. You play that last game. If there's nothing really on the line for that last game, you already know who you're going to play in sectional. Your kind of focus maybe could not be there. You throw in a fall break. I'm not trying to make excuses, but 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, it's hard sometimes.
You know, it's funny you say that. One of my mentors is my basketball coach and Martinsville guy, Mark James, who I played for at Franklin Central, and you know, he's kind of one of the reasons I got into coaching to begin with, just the impact he had on me. He told me, one of the first things I told him when I said, I'm going into coaching, blah, 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 he said, well, don't ever forget that you're the dummy that chose the profession that relies on the decision-making of a 15, 16, 17-year-old boy. So that's been, you know, it's, you say that, you know, it's funny that that's popping up again, that, it is. They're kids, but we're not going to make that excuse. It's my job to get them prepared to play. It's my job to make sure they're focused. And I think the boys will tell you, we didn't give out awards this week. And when I said that, they all kind of shook their heads like, yeah, you're right. We weren't up to our standards. We didn't do the things we had to do to take care of business. And they know that I expect that out of them. But I think the truth is they expect it out of themselves. And maybe there was some looking ahead to the sectional. Maybe there was looking ahead. But we had a great opportunity on Friday night. And I don't think anybody in our program was satisfied with how we played.
So Plainfield comes off the win. The week before, we didn't get a chance really to talk about it, was the Mooresville contest against the Pioneers. A very good Coach Gillen ball club. They've got a lot of guys across the board, a couple of Division I recruits, a couple of kids that are very, very talented, athletic as well. They're able to get a win, a game that didn't really get away from you guys despite your inability to take care of the ball at times.
Oh, my goodness. That's the theme of the year to begin with, right? All the way back from game one all the way to now is just not valuing the football enough. But, we scored 24 points, I believe it was, 41-24, and we're at one point in time it's 14-10. Right. We're neck and neck with them. We're competing. We're fighting. We didn't punt all night, and that's a really, really good Mooresville team, offensively, defensively. No punts. 5 turnovers,
right.
And you lose 4. You still score 24 points. So you kind of start looking back and thinking, well, man, if we take care of the ball, what's the outcome of that game? And then on top of that, our defense felt like we had some alignment issues, we had some just mental breakdowns, and some tackling was poor. If we play better, that's one of the best. You could argue it's the best team we've played this year. And if we're capable of playing with them, sky's the limit. So we walked out of that game. You're never happy about 5 turnovers and a 41-24 loss. But we walked out of that game going, man, if we take care of us, maybe we start winning some of these games.
And you talked about it too. I know afterwards that you said you pulled out an old Bill Siderwitz quote, and the fact that you'd like to get a chance to see those guys again. Yeah,
and one of the first stories I got told when I got this job was the Bill Siderwitz losing 83-0 to Bloomington South, and first thing he said was, I hope we get to see those guys again, and down the road in the tournament, or maybe even next year. But that's all I could think about, that story, when we're sitting there and they were asking me after the game, what's your thought? And I really hope we get to see these guys again, because I think if we see them again, I think we might be able to surprise some people.
You may get a chance. I know you guys don't like to look ahead. Coaches don't. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So we're going to look ahead a little bit to the sectional as well. This is a tough 4A sectional. When you look at it ranking-wise, you got Mooresville, you got East Central, you got Silver Creek, right there, all I think within the top 10 or top 11 in the state of Indiana. Yeah. Now, fortunately for you guys, those teams all got kind of bumped down to the bottom half of the sectional. But make no mistake of it, some of those teams up in the top half as well, very capable in a one-game winner-take-all environment.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's a one game. You look at our sectional, top to bottom, I think it's really, really deep. Maybe one of the deepest in 4A. Maybe even the state arguing, some of the 6As that have, 4 MIC teams in it. But, you look at East Central and Silver Creek and Mooresville, obviously 3 ranked teams right there all on one side of the bracket. And then, Madison and South Dearborn, or not Dearborn, South, no, it is South Dearborn.
South Dearborn,
yeah. I was thinking South Putnam's, they're 9-0 on the other side of 1A there. But South Dearborn, some of those teams are beating up on each other a little bit. You look at Greenwood and us, each of us has a loss to Mooresville. So, and Greenwood is probably one of the toughest, most physical teams we played all year. So, I don't know that there's a down game to have in our sectional. Madison competed earlier in the year with East Central. So did South Dearborn. They've shown that they're capable of. So, I don't know that there's a good draw. But anytime you don't play the 3 ranked teams in the early part of it, that's probably a good draw.
Yeah, you guys got a pretty good draw. We'll be the ones that'll talk about that. I know you're looking from there. So you have the Jennings County matchup, and then we'll look ahead, like we said, the prognosticators. We like to do that, and so you have the second round matchup there. That if Greenwood gets that victory, they've already had a home game. You've had a home game. Well, guess what? You're drawn out, so you're going to have the game here at Martinsville. So it's kind of set up for you guys, but you got to take care of business first. And that business is going to include Jennings County, a team that comes in with 1 win, a team that you're familiar with their head coach, coached with him at Southport, also a longtime assistant at Cathedral as well. And they're going to be ready to play on Friday night.
Yeah. Coach Sharp is a really good personal friend of mine. probably one of my best friends. I think he's just an outstanding person in general. But he's as good of a person as he is, he's probably even a better football coach. They're struggling a little bit. I think the longer he's there, the more buy-in they're going to get in that community and with the team itself. But they'll be prepared. Coach Sharp has coached with me. I've been joking to the kids like, he's going to know what we're doing. He's gone against me every day in practice for multiple years, and he went to Lawrence Central and Cathedral with Coach Peebles.
Yeah.
It was kind of my mentor and my offensive mentor. So he's kind of worked hand in hand with him. So it should just be a fun night of football. Two friends going against each other. I'm looking forward to that. And for those that don't know, his daughter has a rare condition too. Dupe 15 is what it's called. She has a duplication of her 15th chromosome, and she's just the sweetest little girl you'll ever meet in your life. And we're going to do a blue out game for Margot. So anybody who's coming to the game or anything, just wear blue for her. Just kind of show our support, and we can, we're rivals on the field, but we're all in support for things like that.
Awesome environment there.
Yeah.
We hope on Friday night as well. How difficult is it going to be coaching against him on Friday night?
Once you kind of done this for years, you kind of develop some relationships with some coaches here and there. Once the ball's kicked, you don't really think about that anymore. I'm kind of going against Jennings County and what they're doing, just like it was with Franklin, with Coach Taylor, the defense coordinator, and all the other coaches that I've kind of gone against. But before the game, it'll be bittersweet, talking to him and discussing things, and knowing that one of us is going to lose is not a fun part of it. But as far as kind of knowing what he's doing and what he's thinking, you're ahead of that a little bit. But once the game starts, you're not really thinking like, hey, this is him. It's more just the X's and O's of what's got to happen.
And the X's and O's, when you talk about those, what are some of the things that we're going to see out of their team? I know you said you grew up kind of with the same offensive coach, same offensive mindset. Is it going to be a mirror image in terms of what you're going to see offensively?
Well, offensively, he hired a new offensive coordinator this year, Coach Burton from. He was at Edgewood for a few years as the head coach. So he's doing some stuff, spreading the ball out a little bit. They've got a running back that's over 1,000 yards. So anytime you have a kid rush for 1,000 yards, that's a big deal. He doesn't let one guy bring him down. He's pretty good about that, kind of bouncing off blockers and stuff. Tacklers, excuse me. But quarterback's a young kid, a little wiry, smaller kid. We've seen a couple of those types of kids that are kind of tough to bring down, but kind of athletic and make plays there. So you'll kind of see a whole bunch of different stuff out of them offensively, and they do a good job of mixing it up. Defensively, they're a stacked defense, and I give you guys all these tips on what they're going to do, and then we get to Friday night and everybody plays us completely different. We kind of been joking about that. We're going to be prepared for everything. Plainfield's a 3-4, and we're seeing something, basically almost a bear front out of them. So it is what it is, and we're going to do our best to prepare for it and have everything ready to go. And our kids have reacted pretty well to all the things they've seen on Friday night.
So you're looking here this week in practice, you get them back kind of like a more normal routine. They're back here at school as well. After the contest with Plainfield, like you said, trying to put that away. How have the kids responded this week in practice?
They've been really good, and we've added the freshmen with us now because their season's over, so it's given us a little bit of pep in our step and kind of getting back to fundamentals a little bit. One, because it's a good time to do that, to get back to fundamentals. You get the freshmen in, kind of get them in the system and the flow of things. But it's also been just a reality check, I think. After practice, I just, kind of remind them, seniors, don't let this be your last Monday practice. Seniors, don't let this be your last Tuesday practice. That way that they're understanding that that's what's on the line here.
It is on the line. You guys playing Jennings County. You mentioned earlier when we were previewing Jennings County the fact they've got a 1,000-yard rusher. You guys have a 1,000-yard rusher. Ty Cox going over the 1,000-yard mark with the $190 in the game on Friday against Plainfield. Yeah,
Tyler, it's a testament to Tyler. It's a testament to our O-line, our quarterbacks, our receivers. Whenever you have a 1,000-yard rusher, that's not just on one kid. But I'm not to discredit that one kid because his effort's been great this year. He's really carried us offensively, and he's been a guy that's really put us in a lot of really good spots offensively and making big plays. But, the 5 guys up front, O-line-wise, have paved a lot of those holes. Our receivers are blocking for some of his big runs. And then, on top of that, our quarterback, whatever we're doing, a lot of our stuff is on the quarterback to make the right reaction, whether it's to give it, whether it's to check out of something. And, a big part of that's been on them too. So it's a team effort on that, but not to discredit Tyler because he's earned every bit of 1,000 yards.
He's done a great job this year. You guys will need that effort out of the team on Friday night to get the victory over Jennings County. What are some of the things that you guys are going to have to do? Let's start offensive-wise, some offensive keys to be successful on Friday night against Jennings County.
There's one key for us on offense for the rest of the year, and that's take care of the ball. That's it. We got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. The games where we've taken care of the ball, we put points up. The games where we haven't, we haven't. So it's pretty simple. Take care of the ball. Quit giving it to the other team. Quit throwing picks. Quit fumbling the ball. I mean, all those things we just got to clean up.
Clean up those things on the offensive side. On the defensive side of things, I know the defense starts off a strong point of the team. Last couple of weeks, you've had some teams, some better teams, some stronger, bigger teams that have kind of had their way a little bit. What's the defense need to get back to be successful on Friday night?
And again, it's simple. We just need to do a better job of lining up right, defeating blocks, and tackling. It's not we got to start doing this scheme and that scheme and trying to outthink ourselves. We got to get back to some fundamentals and doing what we were doing earlier in the year, which was lining up right, defeating blocks, and making tackles.
If you guys can do that then on Friday night, you'll be playing another Friday night. So like you said, it's a huge game.
Yeah.
I know seniors as well, because this could be your last one.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully you and I are sitting here next week talking again and talking about either Greenwood or South Dearborn and getting ready for another game. But I don't want this to end with this group of seniors. They've been a fun group of seniors. I couldn't ask for a better group of seniors for my first time as a head coach. It's been a fun ride with them, and I don't want it to end yet.
It's been a fun ride. You get an opportunity, like you said, to play one of your good friends coming up on Friday night. Also to support his daughter, the Wear Blue as well. Is that correct?
Yep, Wear Blue.
For the Go Margo and those kind of things. So if you're going to the game, get out there, wear the blue, help support her, get out there, support the Artesians as well as they battle Jennings County, looking for the victory on Friday night in sectional. It's win or go home, so a lot on the line on Friday. Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking time to join us.
Hey, thank you very much. Glad to be here. Go Artesians. Wear blue on Friday.
Wear blue on Friday. Go Artesians. Good luck on Friday as well.
You.
We'll see you there. That's head coach Brian Duggar here inside Martinsville football. Martinsville coming up, like we said, a lot on the line Friday night. Get out there and support the Artesians as they battle Jennings County, also wearing the blue to support his good buddy's daughter, Margot, in her fight as well. I'd like to thank the head coach coming in for the head coach, Brian Duggar, along with Trenton Moody and Braxton Dilly, who came in to produce it here on a Wednesday. I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Martinsville football.
He's got a man wide open. Can he come down with it? He does!